welcome back to the newest edition of Spitball and Sports. How you doing, Scott?
Good. What's going on?
Nothing. Glad you're back.
Oh, yeah. Summer's a little busy.
Yeah, you got a life, man. You're normal. I'm not. I don't have
a life.
I don't have nothing. We just do whatever, I mean, but that's cool. It's been summer flies by too fast here and where we're at. Because
well, then like this summer, like every time you do get a chance to enjoy it on the weekends, it always rains. Like I feel like I'm in London every weekend.
Yeah, and then soon and I love fall, but I'm not even bitching no more. I do. You like fall? I mean, fall.
I love fall. Fall's my favorite time of year, to be honest.
Yeah, fall. I want to like winter.
Yeah, just cooling off and no snow.
No snow. Nice and cool. Windows open. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Instead of letting everybody wait, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys today. You all right over there? All right, good. We had a little mishap. You sure? All right. All right, we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys today. And because we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, see, we're part of the Let's Talk Sports network ourselves here, Spitball and Sports. But Alan, we're going to bring him in here. Alan Peralez, he is also part of the Let's Talk Sports network. And there's Alan. Hey, Alan.
What's up? How you guys doing tonight?
All right. We're doing okay. It's a training camp. Can't believe it, right? We already had a couple preseason games last night. And obviously the Hall of Fame game. Do you watch? Let me ask you this before we get to Dallas. Do you watch any of that preseason stuff?
I mean, I try to when I get the chance because I'd like to see what the team looks like a little bit. But if usually I can't get most Cowboys stuff here locally, or if I do, it's just I'm not able to watch it because I usually am either sleeping or I'm like not around in the house or something. But and then there's those cases where they go and play the Rams on the West Coast and they don't play until 10:30 at night, and I'm like, why are we doing this?
No, you're close though. You're in Oklahoma, right? You're close to Texas.
Yeah. So we get Dallas locally, we get Kansas City locally, Denver locally.
Wow.
We used to get the Rams when they were in St. Louis, because we don't really have a team here. It's usually divided up amongst the closer teams around here. And even though you see some Patriot fans, some Packer fans, you'll see a little bit of everything around here. So it's crazy. Don't like the 100-degree heat though, so I would give anything for 80 degrees, nice, decent weather. And
I'll say this: it was 77 here and kind of cool, and not cool. It was 77 and nice today, right, Scott? I mean, this was a nice day.
Yeah,
this was cool.
Nice.
This was a good one.
Usually it's 85 and humid with 100% humidity. So
I would kill for that. I would kill for that. I would kill for that right now.
Say that now, my friend. You say that now, buddy.
The Cowboys. Let's talk about.
I'm more of a winter guy anyway, so I would rather be in the cold weather than
I probably am too when I think about it, because everything I like is in the fall and winter. Really, everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, our winters are. You guys get some. You get snow and stuff, right?
Yeah, just nobody knows how to deal with it, so everybody goes. You get like an inch of snow, and people go into a panic. And it's like, come on, no.
Hey, buddy,
it's not that bad.
We get it every winter and every year within the first month. It's the same way here.
The other day we had 10. What was it during the football season? What they have we had 7 or 10 feet, whatever the hell happened. That snow topolis, or whatever the hell they called it.
Brutal.
Yeah. I got one more last question before I go to the Cowboys. Now, is it the Oklahoma Sooners or the Oklahoma State Cowboys? Is there?
It's Oklahoma Sooners. It's Oklahoma Sooners.
Is it?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Big brother all the way. Big brother all the way.
They're headed
to
the SEC, right? Or no? Am I wrong? Mm-hmm. Are they headed there?
SEC next year.
That's going to be great. A lot of people are mad about it, but there's a lot of ways I think the matchups are going to be better. Just better. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to, I was looking at Georgia's schedule and Ohio State's, and some of them teams, they're weak. I don't know why they did it this year this way, but it's bad. They're really weak. I mean, their out of conference stuff is pretty.
We were supposed to play Georgia this year. But because we're moving in, they kicked this off the schedule. So that's on Georgia. That's on Georgia.
That's on that. Right. All right. Let's get into the Cowboys. the Dallas Cowboys, the first thing I want to talk to you about, because there's some players that I really liked. And I know we're going back a little ways, but they're in training camp. The draft, your draft this year. Mm-hmm. Were you happy with it, or what was your reaction?
I mean, it was okay. There wasn't anything that really like blew me away as far as like, this guy is going to be a huge piece going forward or what have you. I like the Mozzie Smith pick. We needed help in the interior, so that I think, obviously they wanted Dalton Kincaid, but the Bills jumped up ahead of him to get him. But, Mozzie Smith still fills a need in the interior line that they just needed to plug in because they'd have such a hard time stopping the run. So that helps with that. I like Demarion Overshawn in round 3. I think he's going to be, with how Dan Quinn likes to rotate guys in and out, we'll see a lot of him this year. Schumacher's been hurt, so I'm not really expecting much out of him this year because I think Jake Ferguson's going to be the bona fide number 1 tight end there. And really the only other guy that I like out of our draft this year is Deuce Vaughn. And that's because I obviously got the Big 12 connections. I'm a big fan of Deuce Vaughn, and he tore us apart. So
I'm a big fan too of his. I mean, that guy, what's he, like 5'7"? He's small, but man, he's
5'7" and runs like a road runner. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, I loved watching those Kansas State games. He was something else, man. I think they got him like in the 6th. I know Maisie was. I watched a lot of him, being that I watch Ohio State. They're my team, so I watch Michigan a lot. And I think they actually feel like you guys stole him a little bit at 26. Like, I thought that he would have gone much sooner. And I was kind of surprised. So I thought that was I don't know how you feel about it. How's he been in camp? Has he been injured or anything? Or is he ready for, would you think, for day 1?
He's been doing good. They said, from what I've heard, he's been doing really, really well. They really like his progression so far, and that they feel he could be an integral part of the defensive line, maybe even start, once the season gets going. Obviously, we'll see what he does in the preseason games, but, they're very, very high on him. They really like his progression. Dan Quinn loves him. So it's really been a solid performance by him so far. So I'm happy to see that.
All right, go ahead. Scott, I'll let you jump in.
Well, actually, you kind of addressed it, but tight end's probably going to be a big issue for Dallas this season, isn't it? I'm kind of curious, why didn't they want to keep Schultz? Like, he's a pretty good pass catching tight end. Like, he was a weapon. Mm-hmm. I was really shocked because I can't think that he was gonna command like top tight end money, but I'm just surprised. I'm surprised. I think what do you like on this Ferguson you're saying is looking to be probably going to be the number 1? Mm-hmm. Is he more of a blocker, or is he more of a blocking tight end, or I'm not really
he is more of the hybrid of of what Travis Kelce is. He's more of that kind of tight end. And obviously, he's done great workouts this offseason. He actually went to the tight end school with George Kittle and Travis Kelce in the offseason, so he got to learn a lot from them. And I think really Schumacher is going to be more of the blocking tight end, because they used Hendershot and Ferguson a lot last year, when Schultz was out of the lineup. So I think they're thinking, Schultz has injury history. He's been in and out of the lineup the last couple of years. Yes, he's a dynamic weapon, but they have more pressing needs that they need to address. Obviously, Diggs with his contract, they need to get Zach Martin locked up a little bit as well. There's still Micah. Micah's going to be probably the highest paid defender in football. A couple other guys. CeeDee Lamb's contract is up this year. They needed to save that for more pressing needs than, obviously tight end's a big need, but they feel like I'm feeling that they feel like they have, decent coverage with Ferguson, with Hendershot, with Schumacher. That really, and Dak loves throwing to his tight end. So they're going to use these guys in the offense a lot. I know right now they're kind of on the lower level as far as where most of the tight ends are, but I expect at least Jake Ferguson to take a jump here this season. So
How does it feel like for the fan base, you think, without, and I don't even know where Zeke's going to end up, or did he end up somewhere? Am I wrong? Did he end up somewhere? Not yet?
He hasn't yet.
How do you feel? Like, what's the people? It's weird to see a Cowboys team without him.
It's a mixed bag. Some fans still want him around because, he's done so much for the franchise the last few years. Some people are like, yeah, he's getting up there in age. He's getting slower. We need a better running back room anyway, even though I don't think we have that right now. I do like Tony Pollard. I think he's basically a better version of Zeke, where he's not that ground and pound guy, but he's that guy who, 55 inches in a cloud of dust type of running back, kind of like a Gale Sayers in a way. So I just think that, me personally, I'm okay with him leaving because I felt it was time. I would have liked to see them maybe go higher in the draft for a running back, but again, I am a big fan of Deuce Vaughn, so I'm not upset by that pick. There are a couple guys in camp that are showing out really well. Rico Dowdy is one of them, and he's been getting a lot of second team reps. So, these guys are going to be competitive. These guys have a chance. We saw a little bit of it from Malik Davis last year. He got a chance to run a little bit. So these guys are going to be competitive. It's going to be a competitive running back room for sure. And that's a good sign.
And Pollard.
On the Zeke thing. The only thing that kind of shocks me, I'm imagining Zeke's probably asking for too much money. Most likely, I'm guessing that's why obviously Dale said let him go. But the guy ran for 12 touchdowns last year. That isn't nothing.
And he was a huge cap hit. He was a huge cap hit. That's a part of the reason why they
wasn't he normally like 20 to 20? Pollard was the guy, and then they brought in Zeke for the goal line stuff.
Yeah, Zeke's more of the third and one goal line, pounded into the end zone type of.
Now, are these guys that have been brought in, are they going to be able to fill that void that he's left? That's a big void, 12 touchdowns to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that gets played out. Again, I think the guy that might end up taking that role will be Rico Dowdy because of the suspension of Ronald Jones, but Dowdy likely would take that role, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not 100% sold on it quite yet. I know Pollard's going to be good, but I don't expect them to use him.
So I
don't expect them to use him every down. I think they're going to have to spell him at some point.
I don't even think the NFL is an every down. It's not even an every down back type league anymore. I think almost all of them kind of have to have a 1-2 punch for the most part. I think most teams kind of are going that way now. I think the whole Saquon Barkley way of running the football, if teams looking at it, that just can't even exist in today's football anymore.
Well, I really think that, like, the worst thing that ever happened to Zeke, or maybe even like Derrick Henry at some points, and the other guys that have been complaining, I know they all got together and talked, is guys like, obviously McCaffrey, but then you think of what's his name, and why is he the 49ers wide receiver who decided to play running back too?
Deebo?
Yes, Deebo Samuel. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, those things I think it makes teams think like, hey, we could save money here. Screw it. I can find
Cordero Patterson too.
He's even worse. That guy. I think of him with the Bears. I want to rip my hair out of my head. And then all of a sudden in Atlanta, he looked like, he was unstoppable.
Running back that he is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, those guys made it a mess. And then going forward, it'll be interesting to see, right? I mean, where do you think, or maybe you've heard some more rumors or anything, anywhere that you've heard Zeke going?
The two teams I've heard are the Jets and Patriots. The Bill really likes him a lot. They had a great visit. He had a great visit up there. There, a lot of the guys on the Patriots staff are clamoring for Bill to sign him. So, I wouldn't be surprised if here, like in the next couple of weeks, he gets signed up by the Patriots. So
I bet you some money. Patriots don't pay anybody.
Well, how much could he possibly? Man, these guys, man. I mean,
I haven't heard.
I was going to say the only thing they're waiting on is financial. So it seems like everybody really is in agreement that he wants to go there. So
I haven't even heard what Zeke is looking at financially. Like, I've heard the other guys, it's creeped out. Mm-hmm. The big one was, I'm surprised Dalvin left the Jets without signing anything. But it sounds to me like anybody making their way through the Jets facility is got to take a low pay. And I don't know, the Patriots though. I mean, I guess if it's a payout, but they don't ever pay anybody, right? I mean, they don't even like to pay their own guys, let alone bring in a free agent.
Yeah.
If it happens, I'd be shocked.
And it's funny because I think it would be perfect. Like, you know what I mean? It feels like it would be a good thing, for him to be
What about
there.
Miami? Miami was in for Delvin. I'm surprised they haven't even been mentioned with Zeke at all. Because a lot of them are paired together with all these teams. It seems everybody's talking about the two of them,
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I don't know where he. And there's other guys too. I mean, you guys can tell me this because I don't know off the top of my head. Both of you tell me. Josh Jacobs, he's a Raider, right? He just doesn't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Wants to be paid.
He just wants to. Oh, okay, that's the deal with him. All right. Let's get back to the Cowboys. The question I wanted to ask you, like in all the positions and all the position groups, that's going on, DBs, the whole deal, the whole groups, your rooms. What is the one that you are most happy with, like that you don't have to worry about it, like there's no concerns that you would say?
I would say defense. Anywhere on the defense, because you've got a lot of guys out there that are good playmakers. Micah's definitely the leader of that bunch, but the secondary looks good. Obviously, Donovan Wilson got hurt in training camp, but once he gets back, that secondary is really, really good now with Gilmore on the other side of Diggs. So
I forgot Gilmore was there.
Got Gilmore, Diggs, Hooker, a couple other guys out there. Again, I mentioned Overshawn with the linebacker room, but we had a rookie come out last year, Damone Clark, who played well. And then, a couple other guys from last year, Deron Bland, who came in and, played great slot, led the team in interceptions as a rookie. So, these guys are going to get a lot of, reps, rotation. Dante Fowler is another one. Sam Williams is another one. I mentioned Mozzie earlier. Dan Quinn has got this team defense ready to rock, which is a far cry from what it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, no, the defense has got to be the strength. I mean, offensively, every team, most teams, and I'm assuming you're most concerned with the offensive line.
Yeah, maybe. Really, my most concerning is kicker, because we have a rookie kicker. After we got rid of Maher, but if there's one, my really biggest concern on offense is Dak Prescott. It's Dak Prescott, because what is he going? Is he going to fix his issues from last year? Basically, it's whether the Cowboys have success or not. It's going to be all on Dak Prescott. Defense is going to be fine. I think the running back room will be okay. I like the receiving core that they have. I mentioned Ferguson earlier. It's all going to be on Dak. It's going to be on Dak if the Cowboys have success this year or not.
Does Mike McCarthy feel heat this year, you think?
Oh,
at all?
Definitely. Jerry probably won't say it, but he's definitely going to feel pressure this year. I'm expecting that if they don't make the NFC Championship game this year, Mike McCarthy's going to be out the door. And Dak Prescott's going to be out of the door as well.
And that was going to be my next question, because I was going to say at some point in time, they've got to give up on the Dak experiment. I mean, how many times can they give this guy everything and he just throws interception after interception? Like it's a shame. I'd like to see him throw, but it sounds like Dallas is suffering from. And don't take this the wrong way. I'm not going to break it down so you completely understand my frame of thinking for this. But the Bills, it was like every year was like this. Like back in the day, it was like our defense was always good. We always knew we were going to have a great defense, but then we could never get good quarterback play, like ever. And then as soon as you start getting that good quarterback play out of your quarterback, the defense starts. It's so hard to get that balance with both. It's so hard, man.
I feel I like Dak a lot. I always have. I'm a big fan, and I thought that injury was devastating in a lot of ways, where his ankle twisted the other way. I mean, that was just like, as I recall, I think he was having that year wasn't going so bad for him. So. All right, so McCarthy's on the hot seat. Dak, you're saying, could be too if things don't work out. And that means NFC Championship, which it should be, because the NFC's kind of wide open, right? I mean, other than the Eagles, the NFC North is weak. And I think then the South is weak. It's all weak, other than your guys' division. It's you and the Eagles and the 49ers, but how could you put them in there? You don't know who the quarterback's going to be. So
does it matter?
Well,
for the 49ers,
then the only thing that matters for them is probably to take that
They just need a quarterback with a pulse.
They need a Trent Dilfer, man. That's all they need. They're like the Baltimore Ravens from back in the day. That's who they remind me of.
Scott, if that wins, I'll lose my mind because everyone has told me, not you, but everyone has told me that defense don't win anymore. I got to throw the ball 100 million times.
But they got a great stable of wide receivers. They've got a phenomenal running game. That was how Baltimore was. Had a great running game.
Yeah.
The quarterback they didn't ask him to win the games for them. Trent Dilfer didn't have to. He just could. Don't throw it away. Don't give it away. Really, he was like a game manager for the whole season. He wasn't wowing anybody. He wasn't going to the Pro Bowl. He wasn't nothing. That defense just kept giving him the ball back. San Fran proved it last year. They easily would have probably won that game if they had a quarterback that could just throw the ball, right? That's the only thing that beat them is they couldn't throw the ball.
No, that's
the only reason that they lost.
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas is right. So Dallas has to be in the conversation. They're definitely because the division. So you're going to play obviously your divisional teams. What would you think? Like, because I got my schedule next to me, and this is way too early to be talking like this. So this means nothing because I know when we look back, I'll sound foolish. But like, all right, so you got the Eagles and the Giants and the Commanders. You probably split with the Eagles.
Split with the Eagles and then sweep the other two. I think you should.
Should.
Yeah, I agree.
Who's going to be the quarterback for the Commanders this year?
Sam Howell.
Is it Sam Howell?
Yeah, he's got to be swept. They got to sweep.
He couldn't even be the quarterback last year for the
North Carolina quarterbacks. Just don't do it for me. Trubisky and the rest of them. They just don't do it. There's something's up over there. I would never take them. But you guys got a tough schedule out of the conference because you got to play the AFC East, which sucks because they're like the NFC.
Right.
So you got
going to the Dallas game this year. That's the game I chose to go to. Was the Dallas one.
So you got those games will be tough. New York, Buffalo, Miami. But you do have, like I was looking, obviously you got New England in there. Seattle, Detroit, and the Rams at home. Probably beat all three of them. I mean, Detroit's good. Don't get me. Detroit's okay. I think they're overrated. But what do you think of that? Your home schedule there.
I mean, that's a fairly winnable schedule. I like that a lot. It is the third toughest schedule in the league. So, right away, yes, the Giants are kind of a slapstick comedy team at this point, but they're always a tough team whenever they play us. So that's going to be a rough opener. And then you get Aaron Rodgers right out of the gate in week 2. So, Dak's going to be put to the test right away. So. It's going to be.
I don't think the Jets are going to be as good. I don't think you're going to have that much to worry about that early. Myself, I think it's a winnable game for you guys early. Mm-hmm. I think the Jets might get hotter later, but
I tell you this: the road schedule is probably a little tougher.
The toughest stretch will be when we play Buffalo, Miami back to back. With that stretch of Detroit and Seattle as well. So that'll probably be the toughest stretch.
49ers, Chargers are in there on the road, I believe. That's you guys have a tough schedule. Yeah, it's a tough schedule, and it's good though. I'd rather have a tough schedule than the weak ones because
think about it. You're in the division that's probably in the NFC. You're probably one of the hardest divisions in the NFC, and the one that you got to go on the road and play is probably one of the hardest divisions in the AFC.
And after I did my stuff, I had I said lose to the Jets. I'll give the AFC East all of it. We'll give them the Jets. We'll give them the Bills. We'll give them the Dolphins as losses. Okay. I still got you guys going 12-5. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think I mean we've done that 2 years in a row. 11-6, 12-5. I could definitely see it. So
yeah,
I'd take that if somebody was predicting that for my team. Shit, and odds are that could win your division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Alan. One thing also I want to remind people about the Cowboys. You got incredible coordinators. I was looking. I mean, everyone's could Brian Schottenheimer, right? Isn't he still there?
Schottenheimer just got here.
Yeah, and I mean, you got him. You got Quinn.
The fact that Quinn didn't leave is surprising to me.
And then you got I think even their special teams coach was Fossil or something.
Mm-hmm. Bones Fossil.
Yeah, they got everything you could want there. And Mike McCarthy has got to be on the hot seat because there's someone right over his shoulder that could take it.
That's why Dan Quinn hasn't left, because if Mike McCarthy gets fired, that's Dan Quinn's job.
Yep.
That's Dan Quinn's job is the head coach next year. And I said this. I've said this on every show. If they do get rid of Dak, don't be surprised if Jerry tries to trade for Kyler Murray.
Interesting.
Oh no! Why would you do that?
Because it's Jerry Jones, and he wants the hot name quarterback.
Man,
He's going to go get Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
And Arizona's going to want Caleb Williams, so it makes perfect sense.
No. Get us out of that contract.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to play Call of Duty too much.
Jerry is Jerry, man. It's Jerry's world.
I get it. I get it.
And Kyler's from Tyler, Texas, which is just down the road from Dallas. So,
oh God, for your sake, dude. I hope that does not happen, buddy.
Well, and he's got CeeDee Lamb here, so teammate from Oklahoma. So,
did you see? Did you get a little look at the contract they've got waiting for him, just in case they get it?
I wanted him so bad to be good. Remember, we had this discussion, me and you, Scott. And I kept on saying I was mad that they leaked the thing about Call of Duty. I was pissed. I remember I was all pissed off. I thought the team was bullshit. What are you doing? Don't say that about. And I was hoping he'd throw it in their face, and he couldn't. But I think he gets hurt too much.
He seems too arrogant to me. He seems arrogant. Maybe because he doesn't do enough interviews for me to have any other.
He's a smart guy. I love him. Yeah. No. All right, Alan. I don't want to keep you no more.
Could be your future QB we're talking about, Alan.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll let you go. I know you're just getting up for and all that stuff. So we appreciate you being here. You're on the Let's Talk Sports Network. So if we just go there, we'll find you on all kinds of shows, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Here, there, and everywhere. So
maybe before the Bills game, since I live here in Buffalo and Scott's Bills fan, we'll try to get you back. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I'd love that.
We should do that, John.
All right, man. Well, you have a good one, Alan.
Alrighty, you as well. Have a good one.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. All right, so Aaron, oh God,
he's not as worried about the tight end as I thought he would be.
Yeah.
I thought that was like probably their biggest glaring need. Just
tight end.
They didn't pick up any free agents, which I'm kind of surprised at that too. But
it's
Jerry's
weird.
Smarter than us.
Jerry's where it's got a lot of the old school George Steinbrenner feel to him, minus the real. Obviously football's different, but. I don't know, man. I'm surprised Mike McCarthy's still there in a lot of ways.
Oh my!
I thought he was going to.
It's just what he just said. Next up is going to be getting rid of Dak, getting rid of McCarthy, bringing Dan Quinn up, and then
that's going to be hard for him.
Quarterback. Oh my God! Please pick. That'll be That'll make my day. I'll be able to laugh at Dallas for another fucking 5 years.
I mean, Dak. It's going to be hard for Jerry to let him go. It is because it'll just be difficult. I mean, but
he's a great mediocre quarterback, dude. Like he does not. He
could win in San Francisco.
I look at it this way: when you can look and say, the game's on the line, it's a game-winning drive. Do I want Dak throwing it, or do I want one of my guys running it?
Right.
Well, odds are you're going to probably need to run it because Dak's probably going to throw the ball to the other team. When that's your answer, you should have already fucking moved on as far as I'm concerned. There's times
he's
shown you who he is.
Yeah, but that's the problem is like you're saying, it's the roller coaster. Because I've seen where it's really, really good and it's like, oh man, and then
you get 4 games of really, really bad.
Yeah.
And then he interceptions at the worst fucking time. Josh does the same thing to me, man. Just not as much.
It's almost like maybe not as much, but like Romo. I mean, Romo had his issues too.
That's a good example. Yeah, it's almost like him and Romo 2.0.
Kind of, because Romo had some of the big moments where he'd fumble or whatever, and they wanted so bad. Well, of course, I don't know, but it had one good point you made is it's been quiet. That has been interesting.
I haven't said much about that, but I've been paying attention, and I'm like, I have not heard anyone talk about Dallas at all this year.
Yeah, silence. Yeah, because
they'll dominate Greeny's first hour.
Yeah, the Jets will dominate everything as they do all the time, and for now they do. But
right, what I meant was it would have been Greeny's first hour would have been. What are they going to do without Zeke? Is Dak going to be his Mike? Right. I mean, they would dedicate a whole show to that sometimes.
It's funny though, man, how they pick and choose. You know what I mean? I mean, like the Bills are, and probably for all that's. Because of all the attention they had last year for bad reasons, for health reasons and shit, it's probably good that it's quiet for them.
Dude, I'm so glad that it's quiet because honestly, the fact that they praised Buffalo so much last year and have so quickly jumped off of them So quickly. Where other teams, they hang out with them for a while and they still talk good about them. They fucking totally jumped off the Bills. The Bills are what? They expect them to be third place in the division. Well, during the offseason, they've improved every position better than they have any other year that they've had Josh Allen. They drafted great. They got the tight end that they wanted to have for last season. Now they finally got him, a Travis Kelce, which is what they've been trying to get forever. The only thing they don't have is their pass rush yet, which they've been trying for 5 years to get solid. They keep bringing in these guys and they keep drafting guys, but no one ever pans out. And like I said before, at what point do you look at conditioning and the training staff in regards to that? But
well,
I guess we'll see this year.
Let's take a commercial break and for about a minute and a half, come back, talk more football.
Okay.
All right? Be right back, guys.
Digits 988 can save a life. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides connection to free confidential support. There is hope. The Lifeline works. For 24/7 confidential support, just call, text, or chat 988.
The Let's Talk Sports Network. It's been around for 3 years now, and podcasts of all kinds are there. And nicely, they have picked up our podcast and they show it every week. So that's really cool. I don't want to always forget about the Let's Talk Sports people because it's nice of them to do that. Tomorrow at 2:00, we have Falls Count Anywhere wrestling show. So check it out. Anyhow, man, I wanted to ask you something. We were talking a little bit beforehand, and this was just me getting pissed off at Twitter, talking about the Bears, it was just me. I heard Justin Fields going to play maybe 2 series. Anyways, Eberflus they basically said we still want him to play a little. We want him to play a little. Okay. So I asked somebody who covers the team on Twitter, because Twitter's great that way. They answered me back and said, I'm not. I asked him if we should be concerned as Bears fans. He said, no. If he goes more than 2 series, that would be weird for game 1. But, it seems okay. So some guy starts arguing with me about the quarterbacks and the preseason. So, I still say, all right, you told me that Mahomes will play a series. Majority of these guys
Mahomes is going to play a quarter.
Majority of these guys aren't playing.
Josh Allen isn't playing at all.
And neither did
Diggs isn't playing at all. Like most of the starters for the Bills that aren't in a competition for the position, they're not playing.
Cousins didn't play. Geno Smith didn't play. Tomorrow Tannehill isn't going to play.
I wonder why he is pushing with Fields. But it's only 2 series. It's really not much. I don't know. I don't know. That's
It's weird.
Each their own. There's a lot of teams that are having their starter play like the first. Does Patrick Mahomes really got to play the first quarter? Like, what's the purpose behind that? So he could possibly get hurt? Or maybe because he had that issue with his foot at the end of last year, and he wants to make sure.
But you know what? Remember how it used to go? Game 1, no one played. Or maybe very, very little. Game 2, you'd play a quarter. Game 3, the starters would play a whole half.
First half, yeah.
And then Game 4, nothing. Obviously, that was just the bubble guys. So I don't know if maybe some teams are just jumping to Game 2. I don't know. It's weird.
Probably. Why would they have to? There's only 3 this year, so they lost the one game. I would imagine you were trying to cram it in. The Bills, obviously, they're not as worried about it. That's why they're not for it. Josh is probably going to play maybe in the next game.
He'll play a little.
And that's it. After that, the third game is just going to be all the second stringers and the bubble guys. But
which I'm going to say as a fan, I don't mind. I enjoy
seeing
that.
Why do you want your starters out there? You're trying to develop depth for your team and find those diamonds in the rough with these new guys. You already know what you got in these guys.
I love watching the depth.
Unless it's somebody, like I said, that's still kind of like a Baker Mayfield. I can see him playing a quarter.
Right. Yeah.
If they're competing with another guy for their position, they're probably going to play a lot more. But, yeah, if you're projected to be the week 1 starter, other than a C.J. Stroud or somebody like that, I wouldn't have him starting.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how long Fields plays tomorrow. I know that game's at 1 o'clock. I think the Bills are at 1 o'clock, too, tomorrow.
I think so.
Both
I believe they're a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, I think the Bears and Bills are both at 1, so that'll be cool. I'm happy it's started. But like I said, I love watching.
I'll watch a little bit of it. I won't watch a lot. Just
Yeah,
because when I'll really watch it, the game 3 is the one I'll really watch because that's the one I want to see. I want to see those projected bubble guys. Like the offensive line for the Bills, there's a couple guys that I want to see. Aside, there's a competition going on between Bates and Osiris Torrance. So I want to see how that shakes out, how much playing time each one gets in the position to me, because it's going to be telling to me who starts. I'm not going to give it to Bates because he's a veteran, but I mean, I've heard Torrance has really been pushing to be that starter for the way he's been playing in camp. So,
yeah, let's see here. Hold on a minute. Mike says, I'm not happy Denver will play at least 15 plays tonight. The starter, huh? Yeah, I mean, you're going to...
I thought, what's his name said that Russ wasn't going to be playing.
That sounds like...
Maybe he is. Maybe I misheard what he said. I thought Sean Payton wasn't going to have Russ starting. Maybe he is.
I can't wait to see Denver this year. For some reason, there's something about them that's interesting, and it's probably because of Sean Payton.
Bet him on the over for wins.
Yeah, he gave me a reason when he started talking, and I thought it was funny. I didn't have a problem with that. I love it. Say stuff. Get me interested. Week 4, Jets, Broncos will be great, or whatever week.
Dude, you said it. You know what it is? You finally heard someone say exactly what was going on there to a point without sugarcoating it. Probably because he kind of had it with all the shit coming his way that he had to clean up. I'm sure he was completely shocked that somebody was trying to run a team like that.
Right.
I mean, Hackett, I'm sorry, he'll probably never get a head coaching job again. Probably.
He shouldn't. No, that was so bad. I mean,
that'll make it all through all the league, dude. Nobody will give him another shot.
Yeah, no, it's coordinator time.
He was kissing Russ's ass. That's what he was doing. He was kissing Russ's Sierra's ass. That's what he did when he was there, and that's why that all happened.
Yeah, he didn't even know. Yeah, I've never seen that before. There's been coaches, like I remember when Tressman coached the Bears and stuff. It wasn't even that bad. Like there was guys, but never looked as so, I don't even know, unprepared, whatever you might want to say. Do you remember
when he first got Russ? When he first got and found out he was coming to Denver, how he acted at the press conference?
Yeah.
That was a foreshadowing of things that were going to come.
Yeah.
He was so, the girl wants to go out with me.
Yeah,
that's what he acted. You know what I mean? That's what he acted. And you could tell Russ was going to be able to walk all over him.
And they're going to be interesting this year. They'll be really interesting. I know still the division's tough. It's still going to be.
You're going to see a different Russell Wilson is what I think you're going to see. Has to be, dude. There's no way Sean Payton's going to let him stay starter if he isn't. Yeah. If he's not back to his former self. Plus, I think he even got heavier last year. I think he maybe got a little lazy all the way around, Russell.
I'm curious because he was slower. And I know, it just seemed that way, right? It felt almost like he was.
Yeah. Like, it was just lackadaisical, man. It was like the substitute teacher ran the classroom for half the semester or something,
That's kind of a good point. That might be it with the head coach the way it was.
There's no respect. Yeah, that's pretty much I think what it was.
So you said something about Devontae Adams earlier. Did he get injured? He got hurt?
hurt his foot. They say it's
Oh.
not serious, but he was seen in a walking boot. Anytime I see a wide receiver in a walking boot, dude, that makes me very nervous. I don't care if it's they're just preemptively doing something for him to make sure that it's not. But whenever I see one in a walking boot, that's just not a good sign.
No, and the Raiders, I don't think are going to have. I don't know. I could see them having under 7 wins
They'd
this
be
year.
so if he was gone.
Let me
But
see. What,
They don't even have Josh Jacobs back yet.
No, that's another mess. Let me see. Mike says he is and will. I'm not happy. We need to keep him healthy.
Yeah.
LOL. You're right, Scott. He did lose a lot of weight. So
Yeah, he looked chubby last year.
So he lost. Well, that's good. If he maybe he's recommitted the whole. And if he is, he can win. We know it. We've seen it.
I'm sure that Sean Payton is running that team a hell of a lot. I'm more like a Bill Belichick than a I don't know who else than fucking what's his fuck from the Jets.
You know who was unprepared was
Name off. Can't think of his name off.
that son of a and I can't believe I'd forget his name because I'm just old age has settled in. The Bears' old coach, who's now the KC from Kansas City, Nagy. He was similar in that way. The more I think about it, because now Eberflus, at least there's you can see the structure in there. There's not much. Everyone's kind of it's football all the time and everything. So yeah. You know what else I saw the Bears do that upset me a little bit? See the symbol here, the C? That's what I like. I just read on Twitter that the Bears have switched. I'm not saying it better not be on the helmet, but they changed to that bear face, like as their number one, like as their number one
helmet design.
What's that?
The helmet design, or
no? Just I think
the helmet for hats and things.
Maybe the helmets are still the same.
If they switch hats and everything, go to the Bears. That'd be a very terrible move.
Yeah, I don't like that at all, man. I can't stand this. Leave the helmets alone.
You sure that's true?
It's true. The Bears themselves put it out
Why
there.
would they do that?
I don't know. It was weird. I don't understand. But
yeah, that would make a lot of sense to me.
I don't know. So do you bet any of these games?
I did.
Did you?
I did.
What'd
you
you
ready?
do? Yeah.
I didn't even look into it. I don't know who's starting.
Right.
I just put a 4-teamer together and I put $1 on it. I might even be a 5-teamer. Dude, what am I gonna bet on? The fact that somebody's playing for a quarter? They might score a touchdown,
Right.
So let's see who I took here. I'm waiting for it to load.
Okay.
With the stellar internet I pay for.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
Let's see. I didn't bet the Bills game.
No.
I just bet every game. I think I bet every game that was tonight. So I did. I bet the Detroit Lions to win, Pittsburgh to win, Green Bay to win, Atlanta to win, and Washington to win. I put $1 on it. I'll win $22. I have zero idea. I just picked teams.
Right.
That's all I did. That was it. I picked teams. I said, okay, these guys might have a starter that plays longer at quarterback, maybe a half. That's kind of how I took it. That's how I picked it. So,
you know who's going to get fired, and he should. And I think you've said this a million times. Is the Chargers head coach? He should be fired.
I've been fired after last season.
Yeah, because there's too much there, and I really like the quarterback. I think the guy could jump in the top 3 real easy, quickly. He's got all the things you want, right?
I think this is his last year if he doesn't. They don't even make the playoffs, dude. He's got to be done.
Right.
How could you not be?
I know.
How many years are you going to waste with that guy? I mean, you can't. These quarterbacks, dude, they don't all have 12-year careers, man. I mean, that's why I'm glad Buffalo got their stable of running backs. Yeah, Josh won a lot of games early on with Josh running the ball around, but no, you need to get some so he doesn't have to do that anymore. I don't need that guy hurting his arm. I mean, he had his arm injured during the season, and look what it did to us. Yeah. Go ahead. I know you're concentrating on what he just said. What did he say?
Well, no, he was just talking about the Bears' white helmets. I'm not that was odd. I see the Browns are wearing all. I like the Browns though. That one's kind of cool. The Browns white helmet, and that's old. That was old. Yeah, from like the 40s or something.
Yeah. It's just with the Browns on the side of it.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's all white. But I was thinking, watching the Bears the other day. They were at their NFL Network was there, and I'll tell you, they're not going to win more than 8. I don't care what anyone try. No, I don't. Here's the thing, though. They won 3 last year. I think their defense was so bad last year. I've never seen a Bears defense not be able to stop the run. At this point, they've done everything you could do. They even brought in a pass rusher, Ngannou, whatever his name is. They brought him in to rush the passer. You got a good line.
Why was he out there so long, and I didn't even know he was still out there and available? Is it his injury history, I guess, they said?
Yeah, probably is what it was for him. And he for some reason, he's bounced around. But he's an 8 sack to 10, 11 sack guy. So that's
8 sacks out of him as long as it's not in 2 weeks. That's great.
Yeah, 1 year, $10 million. So then your linebackers are set. Even Noah Sewell, I think, is going to push Jack Sanborn. I know Sanborn's a little hurt. TJ Edwards. I was reading a thing. TJ Edwards plus Edmonds was only $4 million more than Roquan Smith. So I still am happy that Roquan Smith is gone. I don't even know why or how you could have kept him, and he would have ate up for 2 players.
Sure.
So that's the thing though with the Bears. I think everyone's got to relax. You know what a good season would be? Beating Green Bay twice. I would take that.
I don't think you're going to have a problem with that this year, by the way.
Beating them.
Did you hear Adam Shine? Did you happen to see that clip?
No.
Oh, my friend. Dude, he came out about Jordan Love and went ballistic about it.
Oh, wow.
He's terrible. He shouldn't even be in the league. Like, dude, I hate when guys do this shit.
Wow.
I like Adam Shine, but, dude, when you come out and this guy should not be in the NFL. He's terrible.
Wow. Jeez.
That kind of shit from someone who's never played it down in the NFL?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm not going to listen to you when you talk like that, especially in a fucking preseason, okay? But he went off. He went off, and he had attracted some attention. He went ballistic saying how terrible he was going to be this year and how I got to bring it up.
Yeah, I'm curious what was his reason. Like, I don't even know what the hell could have gone on yet.
Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what he said.
That was like, by the way, the idiots on Twitter saying that CJ Stroud is a bust really need to calm. I don't understand people, man. Played 1 preseason game, he threw a pick, and they lost their mind. That I don't know. First of all, I didn't like any of I'm curious to see Bryce Young too. I still think these guys are small, but either way.
Okay, this is pretty much. He pretty much said he can't play football.
Jesus Christ!
Very bold predictions. He's saying. He said, "I was right on Love. He cannot play football."
He
said, "I loathe him."
Well, he's talking.
He said it. Okay, here it is right here. Sorry.
That's all right. No, that's
Listen, can you hear it?
I loathe Love. Despise Love. I mean, everyone looks great during preseason practices, except apparently for Jordan Love, who by his own admission has struggled. And you have players on defense calling out the offense. And just take a look at these notes, according to Matt Schneidman, from his piece in The Athletic. I mean, this is a flat-out debacle. It's also predictable because Jordan Love can't play football. Simple as that. You have Rasul Douglas?
Wow.
So he said Rasul Douglas. So people came back out on the team and said, dude, you're full of shit. Right. I did not say that about the team. There was banter going about back and forth at practice, but he turned it into something it wasn't, and the players actually came out and called him out on it. I was glad that they did that. You want to talk about wrecking a fucking guy before he even takes his first snap as a starter?
That's wild. Holy cow. Yeah, because I can't even – how do you even have anything
why do you loathe someone? You don't even fucking know him.
Yeah.
So when you tell me you loathe someone
that I don't know,
you know them personally and you hate them, because that should never come out of us. Dude, you should lose your job by saying things like that in sports. I'm not that guy, and I like Adam Shine, and I was pretty shocked the way he spoke about him.
Did you see? Yeah, you're right, Mike. That is harsh. It's ridiculous. Did you see the guy for the Orioles that got fired? I don't know if they brought him back. Did you see all that shit? And he didn't do anything.
He got suspended, and Al Michaels came out and said, yeah, they should suspend the guy that suspended him.
Yeah. because it's funny. I thought it was fine. I listened to it. I was waiting. Like when I saw it, I'm like, oh God, what did this guy say?
I didn't even understand what I was listening to.
The guy for the Reds, was it Mike Brenly, whatever his name was, Brenneman? I remember he lost when he said what he said. Okay, I knew he was going to go. When you start saying that San Francisco's, he starts using those homosexual slurs, you're going to go. But then, this guy did nothing, and even his criticism of the Orioles was nice. It wasn't that bad.
They must not be able to criticize him.
Wow. They must have brought him back. I didn't even follow it anymore. I'm assuming he come back.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he's back, but that's sad. I wouldn't have come back. I would have went to another team.
And I think other teams would definitely take him. The whole league came out. Like I saw Michael Kay and all them. That's why it hit my. And it just dawned on me. I wanted to see what your take was on it, because I'm sure you'd heard it. But
I heard it. I'm like, I don't understand what he got. Like I listened to it, and then I'm like, did I not hear something? I don't understand what he got suspended for.
All right, I got to go back to football with you before we go, because I want to ask you, for the people that will listen to us, and I thank you for listening to us. These preseason games, other than injury, like you said, there's going to be fights for jobs, and that's good. That's good to watch. You guys are fighting for their lives. Playing careers. Is there anything other than injury that you look at?
Well, first-time offense coordinator. New offensive coordinator, you got to have your starters probably do at least a couple possessions, really, just to make sure everything's good. But then I'd get them right out. But I'm just mainly looking at that, man, at the fights for positions. I hate when, and it's going to happen because it happens every year. There's going to be a person that's going to get hurt and out for the season that should have never even been in the game. Yeah. It happens every year.
And I don't know if performance, unless you're fighting for your especially at quarterback, right? I mean, does it matter if I don't know? Maybe Justin Fields it does, but does it matter for the top guys if Mahomes throws a pick in that quarter he plays? Does it really make a difference? You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
Well, they don't care either.
Yeah, I mean,
they're not going to care either because it doesn't mean anything.
CJ Stroud got beat up pretty good online on Twitter over the pick he threw. I just didn't understand, I don't know.
Because they did so much better, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to tonight. I didn't realize there was that many games tonight. That's cool. I'll be watching.
I know there's a lot. I didn't either. I expected way more tomorrow, but yeah, there's quite a few games on tonight.
Who do the Bills play tomorrow?
Indy.
Indy. Okay.
Indianapolis.
That's a train wreck there.
Anthony Richards is going to start, so I'll probably watch that. So he might look like a fucking superstar because he ain't going up against all the starters for the Bills. I mean, Micah Hyde won't be out there. Jordan Poyer probably won't be out there, and
I wouldn't have Leonard Floyd out there.
Paul Bernard's hurt. He got injured. There was a fight for the middle linebacker position, so he's not going to be out there. There's some offensive line battles. I haven't heard a lot of good things about the offensive line in camp, but the defense has been killing them. That's a good. I don't know. That's a good sign or a bad sign.
Keep Leonard Floyd off the field, man. Just don't even bother with him until the season starts.
I don't know, dude. I haven't even heard. He hasn't even been talked about.
That's interesting. Well, he's weird.
I haven't even heard anything about him at all.
Yeah,
that's probably going to be out there. Is that dude that was a first round pick that's coming back?
He's a weird guy, though. Floyd.
What is it? Taylor Rapp. Taylor Rapp's one of the guys I want to see.
Floyd was awfully good. Let's see. Here's a good question for you, Mike. Scott, is the Bills' defense better than last year?
Sorry, I've got to get this off my. I got to get that off.
Oh, this guy's still talking?
It's still Shine. Shine was still going on about how big bleeping stink.
Mike,
I'm sorry.
He's asking you: are the Bills' defense better than last year?
I don't know yet. They're one of the things that Tremaine Edmonds has always been, like I said, steady, not a wow guy. He ain't going to wow you with anything, but he's consistent, right? And he's quick. Are they better than last year? It's hard to tell because last year they struggled through the season with a beat-up defense the whole year. If they're healthy, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that's
what
it.
I was thinking.
I mean, losing. Look at. It's so evident how much when he's not out there for our defense when he got hurt when he blew his fucking knee out. I mean, when he's not there, the defense was hurt, man.
Poyer?
And you got Micah Hyde gone, Jordan Poyer gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody had anything to worry about. We weren't really putting up a pass rush, and you could throw on them. We had so many injuries on defense, man. I don't even know that we're going to be able to ever see how good that defense can be because of the injury issues we always have.
Mike's asking you about corners. Now, Tre'Davious White will actually be healthy, finally.
Yeah. I've heard the corners look pretty good. I mean, in camp, from what I've heard, it hasn't been an issue.
Right.
So when they're not lasered in on somebody like that, I know there's probably not much to worry about. DeMar Hamlin seems to be okay. He doesn't seem to be showing any signs that he's holding up or anything when he's out there. That's a good thing. I would have liked us to go out and got another corner free agent. No, is what it is.
Goddamn, if Tre'Davious White goes, can any way, the injuries though.
Something fucking happened with that guy when he got hurt. Something happened to him. Now what is it up here? Something changed with him. He is not the same guy, man. He's not. He's not that laughing, joking, dude. Hey. He's not that guy anymore. And he said when he was off and he was hurt and during COVID, he changed his thinking a lot. You can see it. But
it'll be interesting because he's a difference maker. He was.
He came back off his knee. It takes a whole year.
Yep.
So now I think you're going to see the Tre'Davious White. He was apprehensive on it all year last year, I'm sure. And they've said it 1,000 times. When you hurt your knee, Von Miller has said it. It takes a whole year after you hurt it. OBJ said the same thing.
Yeah.
He came back, but now he feels right. It takes like a whole nother year, even when you come back. It takes another year after that before you feel fully trusting on it. So I think Trey's going to be back to his normal self this year, I hope.
Yeah. I hope so, too, for his sake. I mean, because it kind of sucks that you just the career.
I can see his demeanor. Like, he changed. Probably
depressed. Can't play.
Well, he said that after, he said it was the first time he'd ever been hurt in his entire life.
And it was major. So, he's,
So a lot of things changed after that with him.
Well, because he was
he doesn't go crazy hard all the time. Put himself in positions to get hurt. I don't know. What that is.
He was in the, before he got hurt, he was in the, I mean, you would hear him best corners in the league. His name would come up. You know what I mean? He was in that kind of discussion. So it must have been a kick in the nuts.
Hurt at the beginning during Thanksgiving game. So the rest of that season, and then last season, he wasn't 100% himself. So I think that's more or less what it was. I hope they're better.
Yeah, I think they'll
because if they are better, that should be the next stepping stone, really, for us. Because I think wide receiver wise, we're set. I like that. I like the guys they picked up that no one talks about, the Hardys and the Sherfields and those guys. I heard they are fucking killing it in camp, killing it.
They're good returners. I know some of them are.
I mean, dude, Khalil Shakir, they have no faith in him, or else they wouldn't have called up John Brown and Cole Beasley last year to come back.
Right.
I mean, that tells you a lot about their stable wide receivers. Well, you know what I'm saying? That's why they went out and got a Hardy and Sherfield, because I don't think Shakir is going to be long on the field. I don't think if he don't take a step this year, he's gone. I would imagine.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we wrap it up? I want to thank our buddy from Oklahoma, Alan Peralez. He's from the Let's Talk Sports Network. He's a fan. He kind of covered like all of us.
Family, dude.
Yeah.
Part of the family.
And we watched, I don't officially cover the team, but fan-wise, I do everything I can to know about the Bears and everything else. And you're the same with the Bills. So it's kind of...
I know, but I'm glad that you made the decision to do this season by grabbing these guys. It definitely fills our off season, right? But I'd like to bring some of them back. I'd like to try to get some of them back, even if it's for only like a 15-minute during the season. When our teams, the Bills and Bears maybe, are playing some of these teams and we can talk more.
Yeah, that'd be great for a little pregame. Yeah, that'd be cool. I got to figure out next week what team. We got to think of a team. Send me an idea of a team that I should try to find somebody.
Okay, I will.
Or whatever, because I'm kind of drawing a blank.
Titans.
We had them.
Falcons.
That's true.
Ravens.
The Ravens would be a good one because of Lamar.
San Diego. That's a great team to talk about right now.
I'm gonna have to find a Jets guy too.
Yeah, I fucking don't want to hear about the Jets anymore.
I knew it.
I can dominate every show. Like, we need a Jets guy to come on and blow Aaron Rodgers on here. Sorry, I didn't need to say that, but and it's happening on every sportscast everywhere. I'm about as sick of the Jets as I am Dallas. That's why when they have an epic failure this season, I'm going to be the one sitting here going, "I told you so."
Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm ready for the season.
Dream teams never work out, John. They
What's
never,
that?
ever work out.
Who?
Dream teams, they
Yeah,
never
no,
work out. Maybe in basketball they do, but they don't in football.
No, and they don't in most sports, honestly. They don't even in baseball or hockey. They don't generally work because you're just throwing guys together. And Mike Ferry says, "Fuck the Jets." There you go.
Right.
All right, let's get out of here. We'll be back next week. We'll have somebody, I'm sure.
Hey, we should bring a Denver guy on too. Somebody that does a Denver podcast.
Yeah,
Maybe give us some Sean Payton information. You know,
I will reach out to a lot of people. The Let's Talk Sports Network is unbelievable, sending people our way.
Awesome.
And what else was I going to say? Don't forget tomorrow, 2:00, Falls Count Anywhere, the wrestling show. And maybe soon, before the season, too, what I want to do is a power ranking with you, so we could power rank the teams. That'll be kind of cool.
We know ahead of time so I can get it during the week.
I will. All right, everyone, let's get out of here. Have a nice weekend and enjoy the football.
Yeah, baby.
All right, now if I could get the music. Take care, everyone. Bye.